Coastal communities experience the low and high tides of the ocean every day. However, there are some days where these tides can be extremely low and extremely high. During the extremely high tides, low-lying areas that border water bodies now flood. This is known as high tide flooding. High tide flooding typically occurs a few times a year during the new and/or full moons, when the moon, earth, and sun are aligned, causing a stronger gravitational force, resulting in higher than usual tide levels. Seasons can also influence high tide flooding. As you go from the summer to the fall, the air temperature gets cooler, but the ocean temperatures can retain some of that heat. That warm water expands and takes up more space than colder water, so it increases the volume of the ocean. The fall months often experience extremely high tides because of this and changing weather patterns, increasing coastal sea levels. When high tide flooding occurs, water from the coast or bay spills onto land, causing public inconvenience, like overwhelmed storm drains, road closures, or blocked access. When there is a coastal storm coinciding with these high tides, the flooding can be worse. Even moderate onshore winds during high tide events can push huge volumes of water inland. Rain can add even more water to the system and further increase flooding. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, high tide flooding in the United States has increased by over 100% since the year 2000. In the Northeast Atlantic, it is predicted that by the year 2030, there would be about 15 to 25 days of flooding in a year. By 2050, 40 to 130 days of flooding in a year. Flooding in a region or even a city can vary. For example, in New York City, areas like Lower Manhattan experience 2 to 5 days of flooding in a particular year, whereas areas in southern Queens experience 30 to 50 days of flooding in that same year. There are things you can do right now, like prepare, plan, and talk to your neighbors. Many people are documenting these events by taking photographs. By reporting and sharing information about flooding, we can better communicate and help prepare for future flooding. Raising public awareness of potential flooding before it occurs is a step towards resilience.